A very good day to you, our viewers of the Cool Vadis YouTube channel. I hope you've been well. It's been a minute since we brought you another episode of Kubonga na Mayouths, but here we are. We want to talk about something that most of the times we sideline because we think it's obvious, but it's not something obvious. It's not obvious. It's something that we need to keep on reminding ourselves, and it's an art that we need to keep on learning each and every day. We think that confidence is about talking loudly, speaking loudly, not being anxious, not being nervous about anything, owning a certain space. That is the notion that we have about confidence. But confidence, most of the times, or generally, it's not about the volume, it's about your presence. What presence are you bringing in a room or in a sitting or in anything? And not generally for other people, but for yourself. You need to own the presence and who are you? Or who do people see when you stand, maybe, or when you speak? Yes, so this is what we want to indulge in today, the art of presence and mastering confidence in self and in speech. And who better else to speak about this than Mr. Ndege himself? We've had him on our channel before, and it's never, when you're called again as a guest, it means at least you did something. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like this video and share, and let us indulge into this conversation. This is Kubonga na Mayouths with me, Edna Mumbi-Maina. Welcome. I will give you this opportunity to introduce yourself again to our viewers, and most especially to our new viewers. Welcome.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to our international viewers and everybody across the globe. My name is Ndege Oduor, and today Edna called me back. And they say you're not invited back the second time if you did a bad job. So at least I know I did something good.
Yes.
So the conversation today is one interesting one. We are looking at the art of presence, the ability to be in a room and your presence is felt without you necessarily opening your mouth. Because most of the times confidence is associated or related to people speaking. But what happens when Edna gets into a room and every head turns? What do they embody? There's a presence that they carry with them. Sometimes it's called aura. They'd say that your aura will draw people to you. Sometimes probably it's because of how you're dressed. Sometimes it's the reputation that precedes you. Or sometimes it's from people who have known you and they know that you have a standing on a particular subject matter. So with that said, I'm looking forward to the conversation and just to be open-minded about it and get to know what is it that people have done. We've lived this and we are going to talk through it. So I hope that at the end of this session, you get insights on how you can make it work for you too. Thank you, Edna, for the invite.
Yeah, such a powerful introduction. You're already into the conversation. Yes. So in the society today, most young people have a problem or are not able to express themselves, not able to speak their minds and what they feel. So I want to ask you today, what do you think true confidence means?
When you started your question, you brought up something that is very critical. You know, research says that most people fear glossophobia than they fear death. And by glossophobia, I mean public speaking. The ability to just express yourself. And you know, something as old as humanity is speech. Because one way or the other, they had to communicate. And sometimes we might be having grand ideas, we might be at our best, you're good at what you do, but if you can't communicate it, there's no way you're going to relate it to people or relate to people. So true confidence is found in self-expression. That is how I believe and know it. That if you can express yourself without barriers or without the fear in you, then that will relate true confidence. And it starts by how you portray yourself how you bring yourself into a room, how you stand in the presence of others. Because for you to be able to conquer the presence of others, you must have conquered your presence first. It's called self-image. What is the self-image that you have of yourself? Because if today I know that I have this dent here or I have a defect somewhere, then it will always be a barrier to me. So every time I go before people, I'm so self-aware and self-conscious of that dent that I'll keep either doing this or hiding it or trying to hide it. But if I've been comfortable with that dent, I'll go before people and that will be my superpower. I'll be like, hey, this is the defect I have, and it could be actually a starting point. So it boosts your confidence when you face them. And it is said that people can only attack that which you've told them. So when you say it, you have power over it. That is why we are told that when we do a confession, then we have defeated what we are confessing already. Then we've embodied it. So most of us, especially our age, we live in a place where we want to hide everything because we feel like they're defects. What if that is your strong power? What if that is your superpower? So then what happens? So true confidence is found in the place of defect that is being worked on over time. That leads to a place of being perfected.
How do we conquer feeling the feeling of being judged? Maybe they will judge me and I will be embarrassed and all these things.
Self-embracing. To self-embrace, it means that you have to get to a place of awareness. And how we are brought up, and especially in the African setup, most of the times when you are loud, you're told that you're making noise. Nobody embraces your ability to open up. We say that it's easy to mitigate high pressure than make the low pressure come up. The same way in humanity. When somebody is loud, it's easier to use their loudness and tone it down and package it to what you want it to be. When somebody does not want to be that lively and all that, it takes a lot of work to make them come to the level of this person who is already lively and stuff. So the same way, you see, where we're at a place where most of us were always in cocoons. We were always hiding and being like, no, I don't want to speak. They'll say I'm loud. They'll say I'm this and that. If you realize, most of the people who tend to thrive, they were either kids who were too loud when they were young, or they were people who found their identity way far beyond. And you'd see that they will tell you this. Either I was not seen, I was not heard, I was not felt. So then their confidence was like, it's like a bruised ego. Nobody sees me, nobody hears me, nobody feels me. You look at a child who's been brought in a household where they're like, hey, we hear you, we hear what you say, but this is the way. It means their confidence is being molded from childhood. I've seen 13-year-olds or 8-year-olds who actually know what they want. But I've also seen 25-year-olds who have no idea of what they really want in this life, who cannot articulate that which they stand for, that which they want. And it's typically a product of nature and nurture. Sometimes it's because of the environment we've grown up in. Sometimes it's also an effect of the people that surround us, because remember we say that you are a product of the 5 people around you. So if the 5 people around you are people who are always intimidated, people who are always cowards, always trying to hide behind something and not express themselves, then be sure that you will subscribe to that mentality. But if the people around you are always people who are expressive, people who know what they want and they speak it out, then you learn that. And most of the time, the art of presence is seen and then it is interpreted. When you tell a child, don't do this, and you do it, they don't listen to your words, they see your actions. They will embody the very same things. Things like courage, these things are not taught. These things are seen and then they're adopted. Because that is how the human nature is meant to be. That see, interpret, comprehend, and then express.
But for those that are nurturing kids now, I think it's good for you to also be an example of the presence or this confidence space that you're talking about. What are some of daily habits, maybe small habits, that they can be able to take upon so that they can be able to build their confidence.
Okay. I want to introduce a concept called the compounding effect. That daily small habits, James Clear calls them the atomic habits. Like zile vitu ndogo ndogo tunafanyanga on a daily, when you bring them together, Waswahili husema haba na haba hujaza kibaba. So now that we are advanced in age, you're seeing like, hey, time is gone. I don't have the time to go back and be nurtured into this and all that. Nobody's too old to learn confidence or presence. It takes intentionality. It takes you saying, hey, this is where I am. This is where I want to be. It will push you a lot because it will need you to move out of your comfort zone. And most of us are stuck where we are because we don't want to get out of our comfort zones. I'm used to doing this. I'm comfortable doing this. I can't try something new. Who says so? It is the person who has made up their mind and be like, hey, this is where I am and I'm comfortable being here. I don't want to move to the next level. If you're told that your next big opportunity or your next big level is dependent on your ability to portray confidence or your ability to manifest presence, then be sure you'll push yourself to move out of that place. So ask yourself, what is my next vision? What is my next big thing? Where do I want to go and how do I want to get there? Then push yourself out of this comfort zone. One of the ways that I find that very interesting is find kids. Kids are the most purest form of humanity to ever exist amongst. We were once kids, and you realize that the imagination is not yet altered by reality at some point. They still believe in possibilities. They still believe in the big things that are out there. The older we get, the more we start learning about things like, hey, I have this limitation, I can't do this because of this, because of that. A kid does not know that. That is why when you are asked that one single question of, when I grow up, what do I want to be? We will say the most, crudest forms of things that we imagine. You wanted to be a superstar at some point, you wanted to do this and that. But at this age, if somebody asks you that, then you already know of the corruption that exists in the world. You already know of the things that will limit you. So you'll tend to focus your thought towards this direction. So when you interact with kids, they awaken the part of the child in you. And then they show you that, hey, I don't know how to say this, I don't know how to express this, I don't know how to be present or how to manifest my presence, but I'll still do it. A child will say something wrong and they'll say it with confidence. Why? Because nobody has yet told them, hey, that is wrong.
Don't say it.
Don't say it, or it is not done that way, because that is how they know how to do it. So that is where we start. Find children, find kids, sit down with them, study. See how they're able to stand and say, hey, I want this. For them, they don't care whether you have it or not. They want it until you tell them, hey, I don't have the money for this now. I don't have the resource for this now. And then they're like, okay, next time they'll still ask for it. The same way, if you do it wrong today, do it better tomorrow. It's always the small changes, the small consistent changes that will pile over time. And then they help you become. Because again, if you don't do it the wrong way, how will you know the right way? The same way, if you come into this place today and you want to get the mastery of the art of presence, then you must learn to be present continuously. Sometimes it's exhausting, but you must learn to mitigate. Where do I put my energy? Where do I focus my energy? And how do I get to show up without necessarily getting burnouts, without necessarily overexpressing myself? At what stage is it enough? Because again, we are reminded that no matter how good a dancer you are, you must always learn when to leave the stage.
Please make sure to at least get something, at least one practice, one habit that you can be able to take upon yourself so that you can be able to change the fear of being present and to master the art of presence. Mr. Ndege, maybe give us a parting shot on our topic today, in our discussion today for our viewers.
One of the CEOs and founders who is looked upon in Africa is Tony Lemule. And he says something that nobody is going to change Africa except ourselves. The same way, nobody is going to change you except you. So as you go out, as you want to conquer the world, as you have your ambition set, remind yourself of this. One day when your time here is done and you're going home, whatever home means to you, what is it that you look back and say, hey, I lived life fully, I showed up, and I was present in every occasion? When you get into a room and somebody notices, how does it make you feel? Without you speaking, without you uttering a single word. And then they're like, hey, that's Edna. That's this person. It's because you've gotten to a place where mastery has become your second nature. So therefore, they're able to know and see that what you've done over time in the secrecy of your private room, of that place where you're building the muscle of confidence, will now manifest in public. It takes time to do so. So be patient with yourself. Put in the work. Study if you must, because also remember that the day that you stop learning is the day that you truly die. So keep learning. Sit with those kids, sit with those children, sit with adults. Convince the first person, then convince the next two, then convince the next 5. Before you know it, you would have convinced yourself that you got this. And then the next time you know it, you're convincing 100. The next time you know it, you're convincing 500. And before you realize it, the world and all that is in it belongs to you. Thank you for your time. And
Make sure to like our video, share and subscribe. And we meet until the next episode of Kubonga na Mayuni. Bye.